So we just talked about how when we passed a variable to a method, any changes to that variable do not affect what happens in main. And then how when we create an object, we pass it to a method, and then the changes in the method do affect the object's instance variables. And so I just wanted to talk about why. Right, so let's say we're here in main and we have a function called maybe update, and we pass it a variable, I don't know, maybe xpos, right? So let's say like b.update. So then what this is going to do, so let's say this is main, it's going to go to the ball class, and the ball class is going to run its def update, and it's going to receive a an x parameter, right? But what is passed is not the variable xpos. So main has a variable called xpos, and let's say it's equal to 5. What is passed over to ball class is not the variable xpos, it is the contents of xpos. So it's the value 5, right? And then when it gets to update creates a temporary variable called x and places the value that was passed into x, and then x can be used here in update. Okay, so that's what happens when you pass a variable. But if you pass an object, let's say like object, right? What an object is a collection of variables along with methods that you can use to manipulate those variables. So if you print out an object, like if you print one out, it's going to give you a hexadecimal value, like x signifies hexadecimal, and then we have like AE015. Okay, so then in hexadecimal the base number is 16, so you have numbers from 0 to 15, and then the double digit numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are represented by letters, A through F, right? So then A would be 10, B would be 11, C would be 12, and so on. So you get this weird looking number, and so we don't really need to know about it anything more than this represents a very large number. Okay, and what that means is where in the memory of the computer this object begins. Okay, so then this points to a specific memory location, and in that memory location is the start of our object. Okay, so here we might have xpos, here we might have ypos, here we might have color, and over here we might have other instance variables of the object. And so when you pass an object to a method like we're doing here, you're passing the memory location to the temporary variable x, right? So x is now going to not be equal to 5, but it's going to be equal to xae015, the memory location. And then when I'm over here and I say x.xpos is equal to 15, not 5, what is that going to do? It's going to go to this memory location at xae015. It's going to find the xpos instance variable, and it's going to change its value from 5 to 15. Okay, so then when we finish update and we're back here in main, and I say print x period xpos. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is wrong. If I say print xpos, the object dot. No, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm confused. If I say print object dot xpos, like this, what is it going to do? Well, it's going to go to the memory location, which is contained in object, and it's going to go to the xpos instance variable, and it's going to print out 15. So when you pass an object to a method, it affects that object forever, right? And then when you pass a variable, it just sends the value, and it doesn't affect the original variable that you passed. Yeah, so hopefully that made sense. And if you have any questions, come up and ask me.